Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back. We are going to review again the theme of the moon phases so you don't have any issues with the theme, okay? We saw on the last activities from this week different activities that show us how the moon changes every night, okay? So, I made this video for you so you can understand, just in case that you have some doubts about the theme. We have a slightly different view of the moon each night, okay? And we describe how the moon looks with the high moon phases or shapes. We have the new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, and then we go back with the waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. If you have looked into the sky, of course, in the night, you may have noticed that the moon appears to change shape each night. Some nights the moon look like an arrow crescent, and other nights the moon might look a bright circle, and other nights you might not be able to see the moon at all. The different shapes of the moon that we see at different times of the month are called the moon phases. Why does this happen? Well, if you remember on the last activities, the shape of the moon isn't changing through the month. However, our view of the moon does change, okay? The moon does not produce its own light. Remember that the moon, it's only a source of light in our solar system, and that is the sun. Without the sun, our moon will be completely dark. What you may have heard referred to as moonlight is actually just sunlight reflecting off of the moon's surface. Okay? Only the stars has their natural light, just like the sun. So the sun's light comes from one direction, and it always illuminates or lights up one half of the moon. The side of the moon that is facing the sun and the other side of the moon is dark. Okay? On Earth, our view of the illuminated part of the moon changes each night, depending on where the moon is in its orbit or path around Earth. When we have a full view of the completely illuminated side of the moon, that phase is known as full moon. But following the night of each full moon, as the moon orbits around the Earth, we start to see less of the moon by the sun. Eventually, the moon reaches a point in its orbit when we don't see any moon illuminated. At that point, the far side of the moon is facing the sun. This phase is called a new moon. During the new moon, the side facing Earth is dark. Okay, so we have the 8 moon phases. We have the new moon. We cannot see the moon when it is a new moon. Waxing crescent is in the northern hemisphere. We see the waxing crescent phase as a very thin crescent of light on the right. A first quarter, we see the first quarter phase as a half moon. Waxing gibbous, the waxing gibbous phase is between a half moon and a full moon. Waxing means it is getting bigger. Then we will follow with the full moon. We can see the moon completely illuminated during full moons. Waning Gibbous, the waning gibbous phase is between a full moon and a half moon. Waning means it is getting smaller, okay? The third quarter, we see the third quarter moon as a half moon. But it is the opposite half as illuminated in the first quarter moon. Waning crescent, in the northern hemisphere, we see the waning crescent phase as a thin crescent of light on the left. The moon displays these 8 phases, one after the other, as it moves through its cycle each month. It takes 27 days for the moon to orbit Earth. That means the moon cycles is 27 days long, okay? And that will be the moon phases for this week. Remember, you will have the videos available anytime you wanted to review the theme, okay? And that will be everything for this week. If you have any more questions, we can talk about it on class, okay? Have a nice day and goodbye.